Hello and welcome to World of Tanks. I'm CabbageMechanic, and with me as always is TragicLoss. We're here on Thursday, March something or other, and we have a lot of exciting news for you guys.
It's the 7th, by the
way.
way.
Yeah, dates don't matter to me.
Well, it was the last day of the challenge on wheels, so...
I should have known that. Last day of the wheel challenge.
Showing you
special shout out to Peter R. on YouTube from the CFSD Gagetown in New Brunswick. Thanks for stopping by, Peter. We appreciate it. Hope you're having a good time up there. Shout out to John Golden on Facebook, who's saying some very nice things about me. I appreciate it.
Shout out to Fake World of Tanks Europe.
Yeah, and Fake
we appreciate your name.
That's not the real World of
but
Tanks.
But we checked your channel
in YouTube chat.
I definitely checked your channel. Just saying.
Don't make us contact YouTube. Hello, Tim in California from YouTube. We have our boy Crazy Boop, who was on Tuesday, is moderating chat for us, so thank you. And of course, Monty is here. We didn't mention Monty, so he decided to let us know. Monty's here moderating Twitch chat. We appreciate it, Monty.
World Tanks Europe. Everyone's up to what? North America and me. Alrighty. Oi, stop streaming. I'm not ready, says Scum of the Earth.
So I want to hit some big news topics first. The first one is this weekend is going to be a Sheriff event.
Which is why we are on our Sheriff accounts for today. Ooh,
so,
look at that transition.
Yeah, done.
I'm gonna call it out every time.
It doesn't start until tomorrow, but starting tomorrow at, I believe, 4 p.m., there's going to be sheriffs running across the server wild, ready for you.
3 different clans, I believe.
So we have a lot more than we've ever had before. There's going to be more than 200 sheriff accounts running around. You can hunt them down. We have a specific schedule, so you'll know what tiers they're playing when. And you can find them, hunt them, get those 250 gold bounties, and good luck. We wish you the best. We're going to be out there feeding you gold all weekend.
Lots of gold. It's 250 gold per kill. Do remember that these are tied to missions, so the sheriff accounts are attached to missions, which you can only complete once per battle, if I can find the thingy.
If you kill multiple sheriffs, you don't get extra gold. You do get a warm feeling of accomplishment, though, which I think is almost as good.
Is it the same feeling you get when you're sitting still in a pool?
No, not really.
Oh, here we go. Hunt the sheriff missions, destroy any sheriff. These are only completable once per battle.
Alright, our boy Axel's in chat. Looks like he just delivered a truck. Well done, Axel.
Nice.
Happy to have you here on the shuttle van home. We have some other news coming up. Do you want to cover? Oh, we have Frontline starts next week. Frontline
on Monday.
episode 2. Yep.
Yes.
Very exciting.
So we have a bunch of links that hopefully we're gonna have Crazy Boop post in chat for you guys. That way you guys can check out all of these things. The other thing is we also have common tests. So if you guys want to test out vehicles, I believe. Let's see, let me double check on this common test stuff. I don't want to be wrong about some of the things that are in it. List of changes, improved objects on maps, made several changes to the exterior section interface, not quite sure what that means, and reworked the experience distribution system for ranked battles. I also do believe there's a few other things in the common test, including blueprints, random rewards, and crew skins, which are pretty cool.
You can get crew that are wearing lobster costumes and tomato costumes. We got some other goofy stuff coming out. These are all very early in the iterative stages of what we're ultimately going to offer in this area, but we're excited about all the possibilities now that we have full crew skins. It's the first step on a larger reform of the crew system, and it's very cool. So that's really great. I'm excited about Frontline. I'm excited about the Sheriff event. And on top of that, we have a brand new announcement that's exclusive to this stream.
Yes.
We're announcing it here first.
Yes.
We are hosting a player event at the Collings Foundation's American Heritage Museum in Stowe, Massachusetts on March 30th.
Yes.
Crazy Boop is going to be posting the link to the forum thread that you need to post in if you would like to visit. But on Saturday, March 30th, myself, Tragic, a few other Wargaming staff, Crazy Boop's going to be there. We're going to get to go into this museum before it opens. It opens in May of this year, I believe.
I think it opens in April, actually.
April or May. And we're going to get to take a private tour with the Chieftain. We're going to get to hang out. We'll bring some swag for you guys. We'll talk about the game. You get to hang out with other players. So if you're in the Boston area, if you're near the Boston area, if you love the idea of seeing the Littlefield collection in its new home, before it opens to the public and you want to fly there.
They have a working IS-2.
They have a working IS-2. I believe they have the first M1 Abrams that's going to be on display in North America in a public museum. So a lot of really exciting stuff. We're so excited to go. We're so excited for the opening of the museum. Check out that forum thread that's going to pop up in chat as soon as Crazy Boop gets around to it.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that. I hope to see some of you guys there. And if you're in a different region of the country and you can't make that event, we'll try and get out to your end of the country. Let us know where you are, and we'll try and make it there sometime.
Yes.
Okay.
So that link will be in chat pretty soon. Essentially, all you have to do is post in there, and we will be sending out invitations. It is a private event. You guys will not be able to sign up unless we send you an invitation. So it's very private. There's a limited amount of people who will be allowed in, so please make sure you check out the forum post. It has all of the information that you'll need for that. So
there we go. Looks like the links are going out right now. Thank you very much, Crazy Boop.
Links.
So I think we should get into a game here.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm ready up in a tier 9.
Ooh, tier 9.
So we're going to be doing accounting at tier 9. You guys can come try and get our shit
tier 9.
The Doom Turtle right off the bat. I think somebody called that.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Cabbage, do some jazz hands so I can make a GIF.
He says GIF.
We're not going to have that conversation right now, but there are factions in this office between soft G GIF and hard G GIF, and Tragic and I are not. We're not on the same side of that.
Opposite ends.
Sir Armand, we are going to talk about Swedish mediums as well. We're going to save that for after the first game, I think.
Yes. All right, so we're going to start our count-in. So I'm going to start from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
John on Facebook is one of those selected to get a deputy account for the Sheriff Weekend. John, you're free to play it right now. We're not going to restrict people. Once they're given out, they're given out. They will be removed, or you won't have access to them after the weekend, but if you'd like to start playing it today, that's fine. Please do pay attention to the schedule, though, if you are going to play over the weekend, and try and make sure you're playing at the right tiers at the right time. But for right now, consider, until the event start, as all free play.
Please follow the schedule. Please. It helps people essentially find you, and we want to make sure we essentially maximize the amount of people being able to find the sheriffs. So...
Hello, Nicholas from Argentina. Hola.
Hello. Let's see. Alright, so I'm gonna go kind of straight up the middle.
Okay, I'm gonna go to
Oh, this is assault. Okay, so
and we're defending?
Yeah, we're defending. So, me and my Zoom turtle. Because it's
turtle?
It's like 2 or 3 kilometers faster than it used to be. Or like 5, I think, really.
I just bumped into a Progetto because I thought he was going the other way.
Oh.
So we're going to talk... We just made some big announcements about Swedish medium tanks that we're going to cover very soon. You guys can check out the video we released today on the YouTube channel. Well, I guess if you're watching this on YouTube, you'd have to click over, so maybe wait till you're done watching. But definitely go check that video out. We have a bunch of guys from our dev team and their wonderful English voice actor companions dubbing over them and talking about the Swedish medium tanks, some really exciting stuff. And that's right after we announced that we're testing some changes to the Swedish heavies on the super test for balance reasons. So it's if you're a fan of Swedish tanks, it's a good time. Johnny on YouTube wants to know if we're giving out sheriff accounts. We're actually fresh out. We made a clan especially for community deputies to be able to participate and fill the gaming queue with matchmaker queue with sheriff accounts. At this time, they've all been spoken for, but we're going to be doing more events like this in the future, so keep an eye out.
Yes. Can I access it today? Yes, Scott.
Yep. If you received your account information, you're free to play the account until such time as the account is removed. What we'll probably do after the event is over, we'll mass ban all the accounts just to prevent them from being abused further.
Yes.
And then we'll wash the accounts and start over for the next event. So you won't get to keep the same account even if you get it next time. Evan on YouTube says, now that we have wheeled cars, do we have a chance to see half tracks?
Possibly.
I would say never say never.
Yeah.
Wheeled vehicles are still fairly experimental. So it's hard to say if we'll see other factions of wheeled vehicles at this point because it depends on the success of the first faction. But at this time there's no half tracks in development that I'm aware of. But never say never. I think half tracks. I mean, they're primarily an infantry support vehicle for most forces in World War II, if I remember my history correctly. So that might not be the right choice for a vehicle combat game, just because we don't have any infantry to shuttle around or provide fire support for it.
Yes. It pays to watch the events. Yeah, no, definitely. We do want to give, like, exclusive information on here, and one of those exclusive things is, for one, the Sheriff event, and for two, our trip to Boston.
Yeah,
so...
it's been a good week for exclusives on the stream, guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get blapped so hard for this.
Cruise missiles? Probably not, if I'll be honest.
Oh, no, I'm gonna get clipped by this, Lorraine.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I have so much regret.
Uh-oh. So sorry you made poor points.
No. I made right choices. Because now he's dead.
Dang nabbit.
Oh, but that's a convoy. Alright, now time to stop playing aggressive Waffentrigger and go back to playing sneaky snipe pizza. Ortnoth, correct as usual, points out that World War II era tanks were infantry support vehicles. 100% true. I'm talking specifically about the targets I guess they would be expected to engage. Not a lot of half tracks with anti-tank weaponry that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's some out there, but I don't believe it was a standard issue thing. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll be totally wrong. I do have a degree in history, but it's not in military history, as Chieftain likes to remind me. So,
Oof. Oh man. That must be, rough.
No,
Is he?
I mean, military history is actually really boring. It's not that exciting to read 70 different accounts of the same battle and then draw up maps of it. I don't know. It's not to me anyway. I do think that stuff is cool on a meta level, but when you really have to dig down into the details, which is what a lot of military history is, I lose the plot. If that's your thing, enjoy. Hash GQ says, I really ain't enjoying top tier lights now that wheeled tanks are around. I'm sad to hear that, because I actually think the top tier wheeled tanks are one of the bigger threats. Or the top tier light tanks are one of the bigger threats to the top tier wheeled tanks. And maybe a little bit vice versa because of that strong HE that the wheeled vehicles have. But I'm hearing from a lot of people who are playing the tier 10 wheeled vehicle that its natural predator is those other tier 10 lights. And fast mediums, to be sure. Benjamin on Facebook says, could we see the full Italian armored car or armored truck lines as well as tank destroyers? I would say of those three, the tank destroyers are the most likely to happen. Like I said, the wheeled vehicles are still very much experimental.
I almost shot our Type 4!
Don't do that. It just, my personal speculation would be that if we did do another nation's armored cars, we'd probably focus on British or German next, because those are some of the more infamous ones. Of course, the British famous for using a lot of armored cars in North Africa. But that's pure speculation on my part. I think it's very likely that you'll see the Italian tree added onto in the future, but not the very near future. Oh, just nuked me a wheelie, boy.
Nice. I got 3.8k blocking, which is nice. Will the STB-1 get the hydro-pneumatic suspensions that the Swedish meds are getting?
I knew this question was going to come up. That's Johnny Joe on YouTube. Thank you for asking that question. That's you're thinking. You did your homework. So here's my answer. I actually took this very question to the dev team earlier today. I have a special friend over there who occasionally give me nuggets of information. And what he said is, we're really excited for players to ask that question because it shows their knowledge of the source material. And we have announced that the STB-1 is getting reworked. And that there will be a time for that conversation, but it's not right now because right now we're entirely focused on the Swedish media.
Yeah.
So my answer to you is if people continue to show interest in the STB-1 having its historical suspension, it seems pretty likely to me that that will happen at its point in time, but it's not going to happen at the same time that the Swedish mediums get released. Most likely.
You guys get a sneak preview into the deputy or the sheriff clan.
Oh, you're showing off just True Voodoo.
Just True Voodoo.
Hey, I know you. True's such a great guy. Go. If you're not watching True Voodoo on YouTube and Twitch already, go check him out. He's such a nice guy. His content is so useful and informative.
Check my Discord DM. I'm gonna wait on that. Not right now.
13 Disciple says, "Am I allowed to change the name of the sheriff count?"
No.
I don't care.
Don't change it.
It would make it slightly more convenient for us if you don't, but I'm not gonna police that.
Essentially, it makes it so people can't really recognize who's a sheriff and who isn't, even if you are in the clan. The other thing is, please don't leave the clan.
Definitely don't leave the clan.
Don't leave the clan.
100% don't leave the
because clan. It'll make it so that account is no longer a sheriff, and then, yeah.
Oh boy, Floofy Ducko's coming at me hard again. If Potato Mechanic wasn't on a stream, would that be a tragic loss? Kappa. Thanks.
Change your name to Potato Mechanic. Anyways, what tier should we do? Let's do a low tier.
You should do it.
Do what?
The way I've been playing the last few weeks, you should put Potato Mechanic.
Oh, will the Leopard 1 get a buff? I think it's power creeped. Yeah, we're actually planning on reworking the Leopard 1, along with the E100, the STB1, the Cranvang, and the IS-4. So those are the 4 other tanks that are actually...
I can tell you've got that memorized by this
I have!
Yeah. So those might not necessarily,
tanks.
as we found out with the release of information about the entire Swedish heavy line getting rebalanced, they may not all be happening at the same time.
Yep.
We've just announced that those are the tier 10s that are going to get attention first.
Yes.
And obviously we're looking at the tier 9 and the tier 8 are going to get some changes as well in the Swedish heavy line. I do want to talk a little more about the Swedish mediums because the suspension mechanic that was asked about that's on STB1 is really interesting. You should go watch that YouTube video I mentioned earlier if you haven't already. It's a pneumatic suspension that's sort of like what's on the Swedish tank destroyers.
E10, please.
But it kicks in automatically when you drop below a certain speed, and then it turns off automatically when you go above a certain speed.
Yeah.
So it's a little less impressive than the siege mode the TDs have. You don't get the sort of offensive bonuses that the siege mode provides, but you do get that extra little bit of gun depression that gives it kind of that unique Swedish flair for being hilltop armored face hilltop dominators.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to medium tanks, because I feel like a lot of American mediums have been really up there when it comes to like medium hill snipers. So
there's a couple different lines that have reputable gun depression. I mean, the Japanese line has solid gun depression. The British line has solid gun depression. But the Swedes, that's really like they don't have a lot of other stuff going on.
I'm gonna play the Swagen.
You're gonna play the oh gosh,
DW2.
The DW2,
aka the Dirtschbuschwagen.
The DW2.
The Dirtsch.
I'm not a fan of the DW2. I gotta be honest.
No? I mean, it's a little slow. I believe.
It's one of
but it's also pretty heavily armored.
It's one of the only tier 4 heavy tanks, right? There's not too many.
Yeah. DW2, that's brave. Two. Oh god. Hey, Sir Venom, how are you doing? What's up? When you have all the perks on the DW2.
Oh gosh. So we're going to be launching in a tier 4 battle. If you want to get our account in, we're going to start that now.
Tier 4.
Yep.
Ready.
Hash GQ Daniel on YouTube pointing out up to 13 to 14 degrees of gun depression with that new suspension on the Swedish mediums.
2, 1, go.
And I'm playing the M8A1, which I'm actually a big fan of. It's not quite as good as its tier 5. What's the appropriate word?
Counterpart?
Sequel? I guess you could say counterpart.
I don't know.
The T67, of course, infamous for being a seal clubber. The M8A1's still really good, just not quite as legendary.
The Derpster wagon. Kinda. There we go.
Oh, good. We're
we'll look at a buff. So, the devs are planning on a full rework of essentially every single tech tree to make sure most, if not all, tanks are at least in line with the other ones. We are aware that there are tanks that have been power creeped, and so there is a rework, but it's going to take a while. But they're starting with some of the tier 10s, like I said, including the E100, STB1, IS4, Cranvang, and didn't get the last one. Okay. The E100
Did you forget
STB1.
leopard?
Yeah, the leopard. I always forget the leopard. It's okay. Right now it's very forgettable. Or not forgettable, depending.
It's funny because
it either scars you or it's just so forgettable that you don't.
Andre Boletsky, the head of the product who did the Reddit AMA with us last year,
loves the tank.
He says it's his favorite tank.
Yeah.
Leopard 1's his favorite tank. So I'm sure that most people who bemoan its current status in game would not believe that, but it's true.
Yes. That guy's name is none of your business. Genuinely. That's his name.
And is it any of my business?
I mean, it depends. If he's a jerk, it's absolutely your business. Just saying. Oh no. Is it 27? Hello. What? Ow! Oh, no! I'm getting cross-shot.
You were already dead when you said that.
Yeah, I was. Oof. Let's swap over to you.
That's what?
I'm gonna watch you now.
Okay.
So guys, we are to all of your asking questions about balancing. Yes, there are balance changes coming to essentially all of the tanks across all of the tiers in all of the nations. This is my rotating arm symbol, like a loading symbol.
We do. We're happy to pass your feedback on regarding balance, and we'll share any news we have about it. But in case you are not aware, Tragic and I are not members of the balance team.
Yeah, we're community. Team. If you could read our titles underneath me and underneath him.
Like I said, we're always happy to report player feedback on how stuff is going, but unfortunately, we don't get to make the decisions ourselves. Yes. Maybe fortunately, actually. So yeah, we can't represent all of that to you.
Benjamin says, all the rebalances.
Benjamin, I did see your longer post on your Italian line post. I'll definitely check that out if I have the opportunity.
When will you be able to personally turn off maps? So in that teaser that everybody saw around Christmas/New Year time, there are things that the devs are looking at and the ideas that the community has brought up. So they are things that are going to be looked into, not necessarily implemented super quickly or necessarily implemented at all in the same same thought process that you might have about what was presented. So keep that in mind.
Did I really poke out far enough to get hit there? I mean, I must have, because I got shot. Wow. Got a little lucky.
Oh, I think you got your, back ear turret,
My actual dead tank is fully behind the building.
There's a little gap right here.
A little gap. Somebody put a shell in it, so clearly it's there. T-Law says, who designed this Tier 6 madness? Do they like riddles? Probably. I think he does.
Hey chat, I'm Wargaming WD23. Hey, it's 13 Disciple.
Oh, awesome, 13. Appreciate it. That's cool.
Alright.
He's gonna count in with us, so there's some extra
Can you
shares.
tell me why all the maps are flat and empty? Why not weather or bigger terrain, more trees, more anything? Why not crowdsource maps and have votes? So, I'm going to give you a monologue of my, I guess, general view of how the way that players' opinions and the maps have evolved. Essentially, I started playing tanks in 2013. So kind of, I know the things that people were saying during that time, and one of the biggest complaints was that there were too many city maps, and artillery and light tanks didn't have the ability to fully utilize the capabilities of their tanks. And so over the course of time, there have been maps where more open fields have been introduced and more terrain, I guess, elevation changes have been introduced into maps. Alongside that, people then started complaining that because of these open maps and because light tanks could really flaunt their stuff, they were getting shot by invisible TDs. So over the course of time, you kind of saw a little bit less bushes in some of these maps. And then people started complaining that they were getting shot by everything and they couldn't really defend themselves. If you see where I'm going, opinions change over time, and so do maps. And so there are definitely maps that cater to being able to use buildings and things like that, but there's also maps that cater to the ability to run free everywhere. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about, hey, there are too many of these maps, or there are too many of these maps, because things change over time.
Steven, we didn't intentionally pass your question that I'm aware of. We do have our chat system pulls in the chat from Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously.
Yes.
So it does scroll pretty fast. So if we missed your question, feel free to repost it, so we get another chance to see it, because we're not going to be able to catch everything on the first pass.
Don't actually. Let's play.
Oh, Johnny Joe says, why do you guys always dodge the question about a Type 59 sale? There hasn't been a word from you guys ever since you stated its removal and potential return. I'll give you some words right now. As far as I'm aware, it's not going on sale anytime soon.
Yeah. I also don't think we've ever dodged a question about Type 59 sale.
We may have missed it. I'm
Yeah.
It's not an intentional dodge.
Yeah.
But yeah, very clearly.
We have many chats to be watching.
I do appreciate your feedback. We don't get to decide what goes on sale, at least in this room. I do understand why people want it. I understand why people it has a certain allure, especially been playing World Tanks a long time. To my knowledge, it's not going to be available anytime soon.
So, saw a question. Tell me when they will render the maps correctly so you can actually shoot through gaps that you can see through. So if you guys see any discrepancies in our maps, please submit an image, a replay, both of them, to our support team, because we have been actively sending those to the devs. We've actually sent one in very recently that has to do with, what's that swampy map?
Iron Ladybug on Twitch.
What?
He's asking about the dog barking, and
I know
who it is, and he's doing it on purpose.
Alright. Anyways, we're going to be doing tier 8. We're going to do a count-in, starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, Jura on YouTube, I think I pronounced that right. I tried to anyway. Asked if there's ever going to be new nations. Well, my first response is ever. We did just release Italians and Polish in the last year. So there have been new nations.
This is literally the map I was just talking about,
yeah?
Live Oaks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's there's a building over here or something where if you, there's stairs, and the stairs model doesn't fit where you actually hit something that's solid. And so it has stopped people.
Yeah, RSH on Twitch is talking about it too.
Yes.
So anyway, back to new nations. It's entirely possible we will see more nations. At this time, the newest content we've announced, which we just announced today, so it's fresh off the presses, is that there is going to be a Swedish medium line. I'm sure you guys have heard rumblings about it for a while if you pay attention to all the blogospheres and Twittars and YouTubes and all the fancy internet stuff.
Alright. Don't know what any of the YouTubes?
I just had the word blog just sounds goofy to me, so I have to.
Blues.
Anyway, so the Swedish mediums are the new hotness as far as upcoming content, upcoming line. It is entirely possible there will be new nations added in the future, but I don't have anything in the immediate term to share with you guys. Ordnos says you might see a multinational tech tree for the odds and ends tanks, and that is very quietly. If not, maybe not true that there be a for sure multinational tree, but at least the tanks that should logically be able to be used as one nation or another, they may be able to use for that. That is a feature that is being discussed and was teased at the end of last year. Well, I mean, Johnny, it's not necessarily about whether or not it's problematic as far as why the Type 59 isn't going on sale. It's more about, because that tank has achieved such a reputation, there's an interest in keeping it more exclusive so that it retains that special status. Which just it wouldn't be the same for any of those other tanks. It's about the allure. The allure. Keeping it like I said, if you've been playing the game that long, I totally understand your frustration of not being able to get it. When I first started working for Wargaming, it was the first vehicle that I saved up my gold for to get, because we can get it, but it takes some time. We can't just snap our fingers and get it either. Can you smell it? Here comes the Artie. He said that right as I got hit by Artie. That's pretty good timing.
Why are we not selling the IS-3A anymore? Essentially, the IS-3A was sold a really long time ago. It's just that we put it in the Christmas boxes.
Yeah, it will be making an appearance later this year. Somebody, I think Neil on YouTube, asked a question about the countdown. The countdown is based in the chat, not on the stream.
Yes.
So when you see the countdown in chat and you see the go, that's when I'm hitting the button. The chat, we can communicate with you guys live. However, there's always going to be some latency with the stream because it's video going over the internet.
Yes. So don't follow me saying the numbers. Follow me typing the numbers.
Right. Iron Ladybug says, when is the Type 59 gold going on sale?
Oh no. That's literally only on the Chinese server.
It's true. It's not happening. Mike asked, why aren't there as many sheriffs as when the game first introduced the sheriff thing? So the sheriffs were originally it was an esports thing. It was a way to get the WGL players out there hunting. Lately, it's only been staff and CCs for the most part, so that's why there's less. However, this weekend we've inflated that number a lot.
By like 200%.
200. We gave the clan Claws as our clan spotlight clan this month, so they're getting sheriff accounts. And we also had a bunch of people volunteer from the community and post in our forums and get sheriff accounts. So there's going to be a lot more sheriffs this weekend than there are usually. So go check out the schedule on the forums, and I believe there's a Portal article going up today about it as well. I'm not sure if it's
I was wondering about moving a crew up a line. Hold on, I missed that question. I was wondering about moving a crew up new tanks up, or into new tanks up a line. If I have a crew at 100% in a tier 7 and pay to train them to up to tier 8, or are they no longer at 100% if I move them back? That is because our crew system is strange, and it makes it so that when you move a crew into a new tank, they are trained only for that tank, unless obviously you use a premium tank of the same nation and type to train that crew. So.
Kevin McCackey says it's raining gold. I was shooting gold there. I thought I was going to have to shoot at that 704's upper turret, so...
Yeah, IS-3A before the buff, not the same tank at all as after the buff. Also, will you ever nerf a premium tank? We actually have nerfed premium tanks in the past. One huge good example is the Super Pershing. We actually buffed it, nerfed it, then buffed it again, and then nerfed it, and then buffed it again, I believe. So, we have done it in the past, but we are very wary, and we try to stay away from nerfing premium tanks, because in general you guys don't like it when we do that, and so we try to not do things that you guys don't like, including make your premium tanks
we do get asked a lot if there's a legal reasoning.
Bad.
And it's not entirely a legal reasoning, although there are some countries where the subject of altering premium tanks is a little bit prickly. I believe Brazil, for example. But it's definitely primarily, you know, we don't want to change something after we sell it unless it's absolutely necessary, because people have paid for it as it exists. We figure they don't mind if we make it better, so usually we're less concerned about that, but we're always concerned about changing something that people... we do our best to make sure it's only done when necessary.
When will we be able to move accounts across servers? So we've actually answered this. Did my game just crash? My game just crashed.
The game never crashes. World of Tanks has never crashed. I don't know what you're talking about.
No
Clearly,
idea
this
what
is
you're talking about.
PC failure.
Guys, when it comes to games built on PCs, you have to understand that they are made for a wide variety of PCs. When it comes to games made on consoles, you only have to build it for one setup. So sometimes games break because you have different stuff in your computer than the neighbor next door, or your sister, or your brother, or your mom, or your cousin. But yes, in terms of server moves, we did it for NA to C server, I believe.
APAC, yeah.
And then we realized that the infrastructure that we currently have is very time consuming and very very, what is the word? It takes a lot of people to try and move all these people onto a different server, and so it takes a lot of manpower to be able to do that. We would like it if we could do a lot less work to be able to transfer things, and so they're working on ways to move people to a different server.
Yeah, so we understand, basically, the system needs to be updated to make it something that's easier to do. Right now, it is far too difficult to do. Updating it is in the pipeline. So we do have somebody, T-Lop has new matchmaking gone live, going on 9 months from our 6-month promise. Well, I encourage you to review that article, because what was said was it's going to take about half a year, which was a long time. Software development in general takes a long time, especially when you're dealing with a complex ecosystem like a global live multiplayer game. We did drop a video on the matchmaking changes 2 weeks ago. It's the Dev Diaries Matchmaker that covers everything that's being worked on, where we are at its in progress.
Which I just posted the article that contains that video. Right. Guys, when we said that we were going to essentially make changes to Matchmaker, we didn't say we would make a specific update in 6 months on Matchmaker, but we did say that we would give you guys essentially what we're going to do with Matchmaker, but we are actively testing and making changes. You guys have seen some changes on other servers.
Yep. So there's changes. We're testing some changes on the Asia server right now, and also one of the RU server has some new matchmaking rules that are being tested there. So we have like working beta versions of the matchmaker changes that are being tested on live servers right now. Yep. So TM. I know, I totally understand people being impatient. I totally understand, especially if you're a tier 8 player, that things are still not great right now. Forcing it right now will only risk an unforced error causing problems. So it's coming in the near future.
Alrighty, let's do tier 2.
Tier 2?
Yes.
Popping those low tiers today. By the way, that province match we played earlier at tier 4 turned into a draw.
Yeah.
What a weird.
Right? Doesn't happen very often.
No, I guess on province it kind of does. Province kind of encourages draws because it punishes people who.
Let's see. In July, I would say it would take 6 months. Was asking if the RU server had gone live. Thanks for the update. Of course.
Yeah, if you're really interested, definitely check out that video in the article that she posted. It's a good look into the minds of the people that are working on it.
Oh well, I guess we'll miss you, Johnny, if you move to the EU server. Will an S be added to Frontline?
Is that Ortnoff?
No, that's Montague.
Hopefully, so that I can stop being wrong. Hopefully one day.
Can we see a cross-server tournament on Common Test? I highly doubt that. I don't think everybody wants to be playing on, like, 250 ping. Just saying. Oh, here's a good question. Will you guys implement any changes to Frontline throughout the year? And is there talk about artillery changes?
Good question. The answer, as far as will there be changes to Frontline throughout the year, almost definitely. Yep. However, there will not be any changes for next week's episode. Next week's episode will be the same as the first. The reason for that is I want to make sure we collect as much data as possible before making any changes. It does look to me and to most people right now like the attackers might have a little bit of an unfair advantage. So it's very possible that things will change after episode 2, but I've been told there will be no changes before episode 2. Oh, sorry, dear. I didn't realize you were counting down.
So Johnny, when it comes to balancing tanks and when it comes to us releasing tanks, so I'm gonna give you a rough idea of how taking feedback and taking information from the game works. Essentially, when we release a tank, there's a time period after we release the tank in which people are working towards getting the tank. Unicums will generally get them first. Most of them will have, most of them will have saved up free experience to be able to unlock the tank almost right away. And so you see a lot of Unicums playing it within the first week to a month, and then after that, more and more people start getting that tank, especially if it comes to tier 10s.
Sorry, go ahead, finish.
And so when it comes to getting information about this tank, the first week is kind of iffy because, well, obviously only good players are playing.
I would say even the first month.
Yeah.
It's always, the stats are always inflated the first month.
Yeah. And then from there, essentially, more and more people start getting it, whether it's, average players or players who have just saved up a lot of, or are saving up free XP to be able to get those tanks. And then from there, we start collecting data, or rather, we have been collecting data. We're just collecting more about the general population and how those work out. And so from there, we see how the tank fits into the actual meta of the game, because not only does that first 2-3 months kind of saturate the game, if you have seen with the French light wheeled tanks, there's a huge saturation of all of these tanks. And so we can't get an accurate reading of how these might be because, well, there's too many of them and people aren't playing the normal meta. They're playing the new tank in the game meta, and so there's too many. So once those people, start playing it less and they find out where this tank fits, then we can start really seeing how the tank is actually performing. And so when you see the tank is actually performing at specific levels, then you can really start going in and tweaking those tanks. And so when it comes to, the Object 6, or 268v4, that's kind of the issue that a lot of people saw, and it was very frustrating for players, which is understandable because it was a very, very strong tank. So we do understand that there is frustration that comes with balancing tanks, but do know that it takes a little time to be able to see where a tank actually is fitting within the meta of the game.
Right,
so.
and also I see a lot of comments about the T95 right now. I've heard from a couple people that T95 is very strong. I still think it's quite early to say that it's overpowered. The gun handling, the Super Conqueror gun handling is much more powerful, and I think that for a lot of people that extra reliability of damage is going to end up winning out. I might be wrong about that. It might end up requiring changes, but keep in mind that especially the clan reward tanks, the stats are always going to be heavily weighted because especially with clan reward tanks, only man, that Pack 40's front armor is strong. Only very, very good players, by and large, have that vehicle. So all the clan reward tanks are overrepresented at the top of the charts because you generally have to be a better player. The older ones trend downwards as more players are able to acquire them over time, usually. So it's really too early to say for sure anything about the T95. As far as the 268v4, that thing was definitely overpowered before it got nerfed. So I was actually pretty happy with its nerf, because if you saw what happened to, for example, the T110E5, T110E5 basically dropped off the face of the planet after it got nerfed, whereas the 268v4, it was a more measured nerf, and I will say, you're no longer seeing 15-on-15 Clan Wars battles with nothing but 268v4s.
Oh my god, yeah.
That you do see them occasionally in clan battles used for a specific purpose, which I think is sort of
Congrats on the gold, Kenneth.
Pretty good balance. But yeah, I don't. We're not seeing a lot of statistical evidence right now that the 268v4 is anywhere close to as strong as it was.
Will the FV4202 go back to tier 10, like on Xbox? Just saying, the Xbox developers and the PC developers are completely different development studios. One is in Minsk, one is in Chicago. So, two completely different areas.
If you want to ask console questions, go ahead and add a console to the World of Tanks on your Facebook. Find the World of Tanks console page, and they will be happy to help you out. Rybot and the folks over there are doing a wonderful job up in Chicago. But we're in Austin. We're PC only.
We're also communities, so we can't necessarily answer every single development question, so keep that in mind. We do try to answer all of the questions that we can, and if we miss your question, please repost it. We're not ignoring you. We literally just missed your question because we have 304 people watching the stream, and we have many more of you asking questions.
Johnny, players didn't leave en masse because of that vehicle. Sorry, that's not true. TLOS says, what was the first question? I'm not sure what you mean by championship match. Says the Soldier of Fortune between NA and APAC, no premium reward vehicles were allowed. So it was actually a pretty varied meta of a lot of tech tree tanks. So I'm not sure what you're referring to there.
New content regarding cosmetics. Yes, so in the common test we actually have crew skins, so you can make yourself into a lobster.
Or at least your crew.
Or at least, yeah, or at least your crew.
Become a lobster in real life. We can't help with that.
Okay. You can pick a tier now. I'm done after that little crab move.
#GQ Daniel on YouTube says new content regarding cosmetics. That's exactly what the new crew skins are, and of course, as we mentioned before on the stream, there's going to be more 3D customization coming as well. The stuff that came out during the holiday event at the last year and the beginning of this year was just the start of that sort of content.
So there are two questions that I want to answer. Will WOT cross-platform? No, because they're all actual different games. So World of Tanks PC cannot interact with World of Tanks console because they are literally different games. It was impossible, or nearly impossible, to fully port PC into Xbox/console, so they will not interact with each other. The second one is, will you ever fix the reticle/ridgeline glitch? So we are aware of it. It has been sent to the devs to figure out what's going on there, so hopefully cross our fingers that it gets fixed very soon.
It's not going to be fixed for episode 2, but we do have the bug report in.
Yes.
And thank you very much to all of you who submitted. So we're going to do this count-in on tier 9.
Alright, so tier 9. Oops. Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So Johnny, I'm not going to get much deeper into this with you, but just because there decline doesn't mean it was for the reason that you stated. First off, second off, you're dramatically over representing the. It's not that deep. And frankly, for a near 10-year-old game, World of Tanks is thriving.
Yeah.
Not as big as it once was. No one is saying that. Still quite large.
Yeah. We're not saying we're not in decline. We're just saying that it's not that bad.
I mean, relative to our age, we're doing very, very, very well. Most games at our game's lifespan would be thrilled to have as many players as we do, and we are thrilled to have it.
Yeah. We're thrilled to have you guys in the stream. Alright, that guy's name is Noisy Boy. And very quiet.
That's not true either, Johnny. The declines in EU and RU have actually been quite similar the last few years.
Noisy Boy says affirmative. He's very quiet.
Okay. I don't have any info about the Bond Shop tanks at this time, Robert. I believe you're referring to being able to buy stuff like the FV215B.
Hi, we're also in Texas.
It's coming. We've announced it. It's not in the immediate term. We have another server transfer question. Really quick. There will be transfers at some point. I don't know when. It requires a tool update that is going to take some time to develop. Changing servers now is way too time-consuming and resource-intensive to do it again until we get those updated tools.
Oh, that one. Really high over that. You know, every time I see the AMX, I want to call it American Express.
Buteo. Oh man, Kevin, I'm trying.
Wow.
But somebody says hello from New Brunswick. Wow, we got a bunch of people from New Brunswick here today. That's awesome.
The second person.
Okay. We had somebody from the military earlier.
RT hurts.
Oh yeah, Taser had a question about stat tracking. Yeah, I would recommend using Watt Labs or Noob Meter or one of the many sites out there it pulls from our API and you can get stats from them. As well as our own stats page, you can get some stats from.
When will World of Tanks be truly Mac compatible? Not sure.
Yeah, that's a good question. So live developing for PC and Mac at the same time is more difficult than you'd think. So we do have the wrapper that some people kindly upkeep, but yeah, it's going to be wrapper dependent as far as I'm aware.
Hello.
Somebody says change console because PC is more superior. Well, I sure appreciate that, but you know, console's cool too. If you're a thumbsticker. Jasper says, considering that it on YouTube says, considering that it takes gold to change your name, how much would it cost to change servers? And don't act like you've never thought about it. 100% we've thought about it, and if we charge gold for server transfers, it's because it costs us money to do it, not because we're evil. Right, you know, everything that we do around the game costs money to do. Running the servers costs a lot of money. Hiring people to run the servers costs money. We have business expenses just like any other business. So it is very likely that if a transfer option ever came, just like most other games that offer transfer options, it would probably cost gold. So yeah, I'm not gonna, no misdirection here. It will cost money to offer it, and so it will probably cost money to do it. Just like any other business.
Oh no, I'm alone now. I didn't realize the entire team died.
We do have some cool free stuff. For example, the new Swedish medium line will be Tech Treat. And we have a cool player event in Boston that we announced earlier on this very stream. If you're in the Boston area, go check it out on the forums. We have a private tour of an unopened museum. It's going to be very, very cool. And it's free to players.
Is there anything being discussed about arty changes?
I don't know if those came out yet. Hold on to your butts. Hold on to your butts. It's not going to be dramatic. But you haven't heard the last of changes to our artillery for sure.
Yeah. Our game is forever evolving, and so there is assuredly generally changes that will happen to the game over the course of time. So be very patient.
Monty is saluting Private Tour, I think.
Private Tour. Oh, man.
Yeah, so 13 Disciple asked what's going on in Boston.
My buddy is ready, says Mr. Jules.
So earlier this stream we announced that it's going to be a fairly small event just because of the nature. It's an unopened museum. We can't have hundreds of people running around in there.
Yes.
So it's going to be fairly small. So you have to post in the thread, and then we'll offer invites to people on a chronological order. And you'll have to go to the invite we send you.
Research the Super Conqueror. It's a pretty solid heavy. CabbageMechanic.
T-Law says you have 8 light tanks in game. Any talk of limiting light tanks? It's certainly on the table, T-Law. We've talked about this on stream before too. But again, we just released a brand new mechanic and a brand new light line. So we're not going to make a hasty decision based on what's popular right now. Because as we have seen time and time again, new content floods the servers after it's released, and then over time it calms down. So it may come that it is a necessary long-term solution, but we'll see if the current glut of light tanks stays the way it is.
T-Law wants to know if we're really bad at poker or really bad. I think I'm doing relatively well in
I'm actually okay at poker. I was definitely a bad poker.
Oh, I'm terrible at poker. I was talking about.
I might surprise you.
My account. Tier 10's being replaced. Not that I know of. Overall, I think the changes that we made to some of the tier 10s, including the FV 215183, it didn't suit that tech tree. So if you went down that line, essentially you would be playing almost the same kind of tank, which is the non-turreted, front-facing, super heavy armor, and then you would get to the FV 215183B, and then you would change your playstyle completely. However, with the new line, you essentially go up the line, and they're all very similar playstyles, including the Badger, which is the new tier 10. So same kind of goes for some of the other tanks that were placed, including the Foch 155, which was changed, but you guys did get to keep your old tanks as well.
I do. So someone was asking about the limit on light tanks.
Someone says play a tier 7.
I actually have a post from Chieftain today asking if we're going to limit light tanks, so he's certainly interested in it.
Yes. Tier 7. I'll play the 144.
Yeah, Jonathan on YouTube, I'm with you, man. The T-175 could use a little bit of love for sure.
There's a lot of tanks that could use a little bit of love.
Sure. I mean, we have 500 vehicles in the game.
Something like that.
I mean, I'm sure we could always do a better job at balance, but do understand that it's very unlikely that everything is going to be balanced. There's always going to be something that has fallen behind the times, and like 500 vehicles, that's a lot to keep updated and try and keep in the curve.
Do you plan on making a type of game where you cannot see the highlighting the shape of the tank? So once we go in game, I will show you exactly kind of how it would look like if you could not see the highlights. I'm essentially just gonna turn off my HUD, and you guys will be able to kind of see how difficult it would be to see tanks if you couldn't see the outline. It would actually be very difficult.
What tier are you going for?
Tier 7, because someone asked if we could play Tier 7. But I do need to fix my loadout.
Sure. I totally understand the desire to have that more simulator-type gameplay. It brings some problems to Watt. First of all, our game is built around this visibility spotting system.
Yes.
And that sort of spotting system with a more realistic gameplay that doesn't have the outlines, it doesn't go that well. Part of
Leopard
the reason
1 is planning on being fixed.
Part of the reason you have the outlines is so you can use the bushes properly to engage in, use that mechanic to your advantage. And obviously, without the outlines, you lose a lot of that.
Yes.
So again, I never say never, because I've seen so many things happen that people didn't believe would happen in my life. But it seems unlikely to me that we would offer that. There are more realistic tank games out there if that's something you're interested in. I personally usually less fun because there's a lot of driving for an hour and then you get shot once and you blow up, and it's a cool idea in theory, but in practice, if you're just trying to cool off after a day of work and hang out with some friends, it's not ideal.
Blueprints are actually in the common test, which is currently live. Yes, so guys, the 5 tier 10s that are going to be reworked over the course of the future.
Can we just make a macro?
Oh, honestly, I could. Let me do macro.
But yeah, E100, Leopard 1, STB1, Kronwagen. We're already testing Kronwagen changes on the super test. What looks like Kronwagen?
It's Kronwagen.
It's to decide how it's
Anyways,
pronounced. This is America.
Guys, we're doing a tier 7 count in. Get ready. We will be going into the match. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Jonathan says 500 vehicles and maybe 4 or 5 Russian ones are bad.
Wow.
It's probably a little more than that. But like as I pointed out, I totally understand the reaction to Russian vehicles. They're very noob-friendly. They were sort of designed to be very noob-friendly, if that makes sense. The Chieftain could go on more at length about that in the future. The T110E5 was hilariously overpowered for a long period of time. The mouse was overpowered for a good period of time. It's not like the game has always been completely dominated by Russian.
Yeah.
But I will certainly agree that they are more frequently than not quite good.
Yes. Will the Hellcat get some love back? Tell that to all the seal clubbers.
I've been seeing a lot of Hellcat threads crop up lately too.
Yeah.
I love the Hellcat. I get it. People still talk about the Hellcat nerf like it just happened. I think it was 4 years ago. 5 years ago, maybe.
It's because everyone used it to essentially club seals because it was a very accessible tank with good camo and good gun statistics. And so when we nerfed it, people who like to seal club got real mad. There's a lot of people that played it.
Yep. So 13 Disciple got one of the sheriff accounts for this weekend, and he's counting in with us. Thank you very much, 13 Disciple. So if you don't get in our game, you might get in his. Increase your odds of earning some gold.
Some nice 250 gold.
T-Loss says the mouse was OP. There was a solid, I think it was 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
After it got buffed, where it was.
It got a buff in how much
it was definitely
HP
OP.
it had.
It also got a damage buff. It got a damage buff and a resilience buff, and both at the same time. It was the strongest tier 10 heavy on the server until it got nerfed. And now I think it's in a decent spot.
Bollocks.
It is what it is.
Oh no! That hurt a lot.
Oh no! Piggy says first time I've been able to drop with yous and I disconnect. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
Where are you, Piggy?
Yeah, I definitely understand the T67. I'm captain of the nerf the T67 train. So if you want to hop on board,
choo-choo.
Keep posting about it. I agree.
The horrible but great says nerf the M44.
Also, probably too good of a vehicle. The M44, the scourge of tier 6, as it's known by some people.
Oh man, that's super funny. Mention what in the rules? Oh, yes, you can use your sheriff account now.
100%. Yeah, sorry if that wasn't clear, but from the time you receive the sheriff account, you are free to use it. Oh, I'm gonna die if I shoot.
Perhaps because the Hellcat was destroyed. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. There are definitely people that kind of flocked to the T-67 after the Hellcat was nerfed. Sure.
Yeah, the T-67 is especially when people have like
don't nerf the T-67.
We have a Steel Clubber in chat.
Oh man, you guys are so funny.
If you understand the vision mechanics and you have a fully trained crew, the T-67 is super gross. I don't play it. I encourage you.
Oh, I don't have the view range to like spot. I don't know.
King Philip says buff it, please.
Yeah.
And Scott on Facebook says never nerf the M44. Never ever.
Oh man. See, like even in chat, we get people on both sides of the same.
It's
like...
true, yeah. But right here we have Army Mage 68 on Twitch says, lights are now overpowered. Back in the day, they had to run from heavies. Now they run towards them and outdamage them. I don't know if that part is true, but I'm happy. I'm like, the data says that tier 10 lights especially are not, you know, not that spicy, not that special.
Not that spicy.
It's actually refreshing to hear that they're causing some issues. There are a few light tanks that are probably too strong, but I would say by and large the class is not in a great place right now.
How does one go about getting a sheriff account? So, on Tuesday, so guys, if you want exclusive content, you gotta come to the streams. So on Tuesday, we announced that we would be, allowing people to comment in a specific forum post, so that way they could have a chance at getting a sheriff account, as we don't just give it to anyone. We do check and see if you are a bad person in-game. Just saying. And then we will possibly give you a sheriff account. It's first comes, first serve, depending on if you're a good person. And then we give you an account so that you can run it over the sheriff weekend.
I don't want to make larger comments about whether or not you're a good person, but we will be checking to see if, for example, you've ever been chat banned.
Oh, I didn't get spotted, really? Okay. Oh, right. Doesn't the Oods have, like, really bad spotting? I think the Oods has really bad spotting.
King Philip asked about a tier 2 wheeled tank. I'm not sure about that, King. It's not coming as far as I'm aware.
But yes, so I'm gonna go back and I'm going to bring up one of the things that we're doing, so that way I can force Crazy Boop to post the link for me.
Oh, there you go ahead.
So at the end of March, we are going to the American Heritage Museum, thanks to the Collings Foundation for creating that nice old museum.
And for hosting us before it opens to the public.
Yes, so we are going to get an exclusive tour that is going to be available for people who sign up in the forum. Make sure you send a post and essentially say, hey, I'm interested, I'll be in the area, I would like to attend, because if you don't, well, I'm sorry, you won't be able to go, because it is a very limited amount of people that will be able to go, so keep that in mind. We would like a lot of people to go, but unfortunately, due to the fact that, well, it's a nice museum, but it's relatively small. So we can't invite, like...
We don't want to call it small. Just long story short, it's a smaller event, so we're playing the invites a little close to the chest.
We can't bring you and 300 of your friends, but we do want people to be interested and sign up and go, because it's going to be awesome. Chieftain will be there, I will be there, Cabbage will also be there. So
Crazy Boop will be there.
Yes.
He's the guy posting all the links in chat on all the channels, if you guys aren't familiar. So, very cool. We'll have fun. Well, right as you started that, I got shot by 3 artillery and 2 tank destroyers within a span of about a second and a half.
Oh.
So I hope you guys appreciated my reaction face, because it was horrible. Monty says he'll be there in spirit. I will carry your spirit with us, Monty. We'll send you. Robert says he's only 2 hours away. Hey, Robert, make it out. Ow! It's worth the drive. Trust me, the museum is... Well, I can't actually say first-hand experience. I've only seen our pictures and videos from it.
I'm in danger.
It looks pretty cool.
Oh, I'm not in danger anymore.
if you guys are familiar with the Littlefield collection, which was a famous armored vehicle collection, I believe is based in Northern California. Jacques Littlefield passed away. The Collings Foundation now has that Littlefield collection, and the American Heritage Museum is primarily designed to feature it. So a lot of this, I believe most of the vehicles, if not all of them, I don't think quite all of them, come from the Littlefield collection. So it's gonna be really cool. For free asks, any other wargaming events coming up? Not that we've announced yet, but we are going to have more events later this year for sure, and we'll keep you guys in the loop on this stream.
Yes. Will you pay for travel? No.
Yep.
You have to make it there on your own. It is a free event, and we will be providing food. So
yep.
You just have to provide your presence if you would like to go to the museum. So please make sure you're going to be in the area, else that ticket is better.
And since you guys are asking in chat, that area is about an hour east of Boston.
Yes.
So the Collings Foundation, I think, is in Stowe, Massachusetts. I think the official address for the museum is in Hudson, Massachusetts, but about an hour east of Boston. Yes. So if you're in the New England area at all, I know I'm not super familiar with New England. I'm from mostly the west of America. A lot of cities are a lot closer in the East Coast than they are in the West. So hopefully you're nearby.
The T-30 shot me with HE?
Oh,
really?
No, sad day.
Oh, that sucks for him. Wow.
Jonathan says, guys, deal Everett had a bad match in a Russian tank. When can we expect the Object 430U to be buffed?
Oh. Oof. Oof. Briefing training rooms. Interesting.
No, Army Raw, that wouldn't... A TK ban from 6 years ago would not percolate.
Let's see.
Kebab, if you're in the UK, keep an eye out for the Bovington Tank Fest. That happens every year. It's the biggest event in tanking and the tank hobby. Is it a hobby? The tank interest. So make it out to Tank Fest if you can't make it here for our little event.
When is Wargaming League coming back? Not for our foreseeable future. It was removed because it didn't fit a very good format. So. It won't come back in the same format.
It's super complicated, but yeah, the WGL's not coming back in the way it was. I wish it could. I loved WGL. It was amazing to watch the best players of the game play. But it had a lot of problems, not having the same format as the rest of the game is a real problem as far as drawing viewership, so it just never quite drew the viewership that we would have liked to see. Tanks also, it's a slower paced game, so it doesn't draw in a general audience as well as some other esports. Worst comes to worst, we're still pursuing other competitive options. We've had all the big clan events have been happening lately. EU did EU versus RU for the Soldier Fortune campaign. We did NA versus APAC. Shout out to Bulba for winning. Congratulations, Bulba, if any of you are watching. Awesome.
And shout out to 1984 Big Brother for organizing ours.
He's actually on vacation because his mom's in town. So he's shown his mom the city, having a good time. So I think
the Pig Sheep Flies removing boosts and the choice of casters all may have had an impact on viewership. So the reason why... So boosts weren't actually... removed until after WGL ended, I believe. Boost were still in the game until WGL
there were definitely
ended.
some times where because it's been a process, some boosts got hit and then new ones were found and old ones weren't quite done. And
which, was interesting for WGL players because, for one, they had to find these new boosts. But the reason why boosts were removed was because in random gameplay, the devs didn't account for these boosts being things. Like, they weren't added to the game by the developers. And so they were completely imbalanced in terms of between one side and the other. And so if one side had a boost, there was no competing point on the other side. And so it gave a huge unfair advantage for one team to have a boost when the other didn't. If boosts ever come back to the game, they would need to be reintroduced specifically by the devs to be able to be in the game.
So we have a couple questions on YouTube and Facebook about Tank Awards coming back. Tank Awards it's in the pipeline to come back. It's not going to be quite what it was before. It's going to be more integrated with the client, is my understanding. But it is coming back.
We actually removed what tier and what types are in the queue.
Yeah. Also, Pixie Flies, I don't want to get too much into the back end of that, but suffice to say, there were some issues with the castings of the later season,
Yeah.
for sure. But I don't think any of them ultimately changed the reality of how many people were interested in watching it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we're going to count in on tier 10 now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Message about tank rear removed. Meanwhile, Sophie says it every wargaming video. Hey, I wasn't the one that removed tank butts.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know. I won an STR VS1 when the Swedish line was new from Tank Rewards.
Ooh,
nice!
awesome.
That's awesome. Congraties. What?
I definitely don't have any MC.
Yes, he does. He's just lying.
I promise you.
Like, honestly, he says it so that way he doesn't get that many messages, but message him because I saw a stack of them on his desk.
She didn't. They're actually, those codes were M4 improved, so I can maybe get you an M4 improved.
You don't already have one.
Actually, my stats in the
Starts
M4
with an M.
Are really good. But it's definitely not an M60.
Toot your own horn, why don't you?
Yeah, well, I gotta claim what I got. I got good poodle stats. I got really good poodle stats.
I have weirdly good, like, Batchat 25 TAP stats. Like, I have, like, a 65% win rate in that thing. Like, I don't know what it is, but, like, that tank, just, I'm okay in it.
It probably was B10.
Sheriff accounts don't have Clan War reward tanks. That's surprising. Not really, in my opinion. Also, I think I do have an M60 on this account.
I think they might be on the... They're not on the deputy accounts. Yeah. Do you know if Tank Rewards will also be on the Asian server?
It was solely an NA initiative initially.
NA only.
I would ask them if they want to create one.
Yeah.
Don't ask us.
Yao on YouTube has a complaint to make about our so-called player support.
What's up?
Happy to hear it. I mean,
This is how he sounds like all the time.
Is it?
Just FYI, yeah.
What do I sound like?
Well, I mean, you said, I'm happy to hear your message. Complaint?
Yeah, that's how I talk normally in my daily life.
He's not very expressive. I'm the expressive one.
Oh.
That's why that's why we have me on stream, is because I actually smile. I'm sorry. It was just too easy. Where's the link for the sheriff signups? Unfortunately, sheriff signups are closed. Please do check in on our streams. We do try to release exclusive content where we can and talk to you guys and create discussion. So sheriff accounts signups were on Tuesday, but unfortunately they are freshly out.
I mean, for me, fortunately, I'm thrilled that so many people want to do it. We will be doing this again in the future. There will be a chance to sign up for a sheriff account again in the future, so we'll always announce it here on the stream first. So if you're here, you'll have a good chance of signing up early.
Yes. And also make sure you don't have any game sanctions, whether it's chat bans or otherwise, because
it won't necessarily be an auto like exclude, but we will be looking at. We do look at player histories. We want to make sure people who are getting access to these special demo accounts are not going to abuse them.
Yes.
It's happened in the past, and it's not fun for anyone.
Yes. Cam D says no jazz hands.
Oh,
you need to do jazz hands.
Right. Apparently, Crazy Boop has started a trend.
Yep. Let's see.
Oh no! I just got 110E4. Did it hurt bad? Ouch. Hey, Matt Maynard, thanks for stopping by.
What? Thought I was hidden by rocks.
Oh boy, just got type 5 for 500. Really? He shot through that gap? Getting some bad luck on the gap shots today. People are sneaking some very low percentage shots on me.
We're not ignoring your complaint. It's just that it's a long message, and we're in match right now.
Oh, is this...
He said he wants to reset his account, but he will not keep things like garage slots, barrack space, tank camo, because and those are things that he bought with real money. That's his message.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, officially we don't offer a wiping service that I'm aware of. Might be so. I mean, if you're having issues with the wipe, it might be because it's it's not something we normally do, and it's not really a service that we offer. Our CS guys might be trying to help you with what tools they have, but it's definitely not a typical action on our part. It does happen in very rare circumstances.
How many games do you guys have on your accounts? My personal account, I have about 8,000.
Yeah, I think I'm at about, I'm around the same range, I think. Maybe I might be around 8,500 now.
1,000 of those games are in my IS3.
Chase says, this game has died, rip. Rip World of Tanks.
Oh, darn.
It's dead.
Nobody's playing it right now. There are 10,000 nobodies. Oh, bollocks. How?
Hey, Maxime. Oh, Maxime, I think you, I appreciate you changing your name from Cyrillic to English. I believe it's the same person. I was trying to translate your name earlier, and I did think I had it figured out that your first name was Maxime. But thank you for changing it anyway. We appreciate it. So thanks for watching our stream. H. Nyland, I believe, says hello from the Netherlands. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, guys. I do my best, but I am but a simple American.
You said doo-doo.
Thanks. So yeah, it says the major problem is you can't want copies of bills. I understand that a part of our verification process involves making sure we have the users, they can verify the payment information, and this use karma coins. That's difficult. I hear you on that one. I will I'll poke CS about it and see what they think.
I'm gonna go down this hill. Very, very careful. Very.
Also, do you say we had 100K? Maybe in like 2013, 2014.
What? 100K?
See you later, 13 and Disciple. Enjoy your dinner.
We literally just said we don't really offer that service. Account wipes.
Vancouver Scrub on Twitch says, I just started playing this game. I've already spent $200. Woo! Thank you. We appreciate the support. Honestly, it's World of Tanks is a labor of love for hundreds of people across the entire globe. We really appreciate the support. Do I think you'll still be able to play this game in 3 years? Almost definitely. Who knows what the future holds, but the World of Tanks will exist in some form or another in 3 years. Almost completely, definitely. World of Tanks is not as big as it once was, and it will likely never be as big as it once was. It was a massive, massive game. Regularly in the top 10 for any game in revenue. It's a big deal. Most games don't ever get anywhere near as close to as big as World of Tanks used to be. But World of Tanks is still quite big for a multiplayer game, and it's going to be around for a long time. And on top of that, we have all sorts of exciting new content coming over the next few years. I totally missed that artillery guy because I was talking.
There are actually lots of chances to get things for free in our game, Ruben. His comment was, but playing for free is really painful. What is your advice? For one, we are working to get tank rewards back, which was a really awesome system of rewarding you guys extra things. including essentially rolls to get super awesome tier 8 premium tanks, which helps with the grind. We also just had the EBR marathon, so there's lots of chances to get cool, awesome, high tier free tanks to help with your grind, as well as tournaments and things like that, which, guys, sign up for tournaments. They're actually pretty fun.
So somebody said I'm free to play. Yeah, what is your advice? My advice is grind credits during frontline.
Yeah.
Frontline's a great time to grind credits. It's a good time. I did have a question from Scott. Says, any word on whether the store will start taking Amazon Pay again? We never intended to stop taking Amazon Pay. Actually, the company, the payment partner that we had that we worked through to use Amazon Pay, basically detonated. It was totally on their side. They had issues with all of their clients. We have since switched to a new one, or we're in the process of switching to a new one. So yeah, we never intended to stop using Amazon Pay, and hopefully it should be available again soon.
Denzel Leg says, which also I just wanted to call you Pencil Leg. Maybe you answered this and I missed it. Will there ever be tier 10 premium tanks? Not in the foreseeable future. There is a teased tier 9 reward tank for Frontline.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, no tier 10 premium tank.
Puddin Jones says, how do people with full-time jobs acquire those free tier 8 premiums with those incredibly long grinds? I hear you, Puddin. It's quite difficult. The grinds are quite long. I'll say we usually value a tier 8 premium at $40 to $60. So we're not inclined to make it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard for someone with a full-time job. I totally understand.
There's a balance between, like, can you actually pay for something? And, like, we have full-time jobs, although, most of our job is, well, working on the game, or rather, working with the community and stuff like that. But one of the biggest things is if you have a full-time job, generally you might have a little bit more disposable income to be able to pay for things, whereas people without disposable income / jobs might be able to actually play for these and be able to achieve it.
Free-to-play players are definitely 100% important to the game.
Yes.
And that is why we do offer the ability to earn the premium stuff for free on so many occasions. But yeah, it's always going to be time intensive to get that stuff for free because you're getting something that normally has a pretty solid value in exchange for playing a video game. So if you work out the hour to payment, it's still not a great return. But you get to your job in that where you're earning the premium tank is playing a video game. So hopefully you're having a good time while doing it. Yeah. And if you are working a full-time job and you're just grinding casually, you should at least be able to get a really nice discount on the vehicle if you really want it.
So essentially for every single part of the marathon that you played, you can earn more and more, which is 10% more of a discount. And so even playing up to 50% discount was really nice. Yeah. And that was, as I believe, pretty achievable for most people.
And Puddin', I hear you, man. I've been there. You got to do what you got to do to survive.
Yeah. Pay your bills before you pay ours.
World of Tanks is entertainment. It's not a priority.
Yeah.
Financially, take care of you and yours. And then if you have some money to spend on entertainment, we really appreciate it if you choose to support World of Tanks.
Yeah.
Ruben says a new not so great tank is worth almost a completely new game on Steam. Is that not a little much? So my response, Ruben, is if you play that tank 200 times, you have played it. Your time spent using that tank is probably 2 or 3 times that of what the amount of time you would spend playing that new game you bought on Steam.
It's a movie ticket theory.
So in terms of value per
dollar
time
spent,
if you use the premium tanks as much as most people use them, they're actually turns out to be pretty solid, especially when you factor in the extra experience and the extra credits that you earn from playing a premium. So only you can decide if it's worth it for you. We do offer sales, we do offer discounts, we do offer loot boxes that you can buy cheaply and earn expensive premium tanks with. There's opportunities for that kind of stuff, but only you can decide if it's worth it for you. But as far as the comparison to a brand new game, I think if you work out the time, you'll find that a premium tank is actually a cheaper value.
King Philip says, will the EBR be a part of the Christmas event calendar? We don't know yet.
Yeah, it's way too early.
That's way too far in advance. Way too very far in advance. Where are they answering these questions? We are answering these vocally, but we are gathering questions from YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Yeah.
So we have 3 different chats that we're answering questions from.
We'll try and shout out the username
Yes.
and the channel so that it's clear to people.
You've mostly been doing their names. I've been missing these.
Tier 4, huh?
Yes.
What's with the low tiers today, Tragic?
Hey, we're bouncing back and forth between low and high tiers. Why not? I want to make sure, you know, a lot of people get, you know, stuff.
I want to play the duck. This one's for you, Michael Loven. AMX40. Let's do it.
Alrighty,
if you guys don't watch Watt Weekly on our YouTube channel, you really should.
Yeah,
our host, Michael Loven, is a big fan of the MX's40. It's his favorite tank.
5.
And I'm playing it just for him.
1, go. Oh, go with the capital O.
Ooh, good O.
But yeah, guys, so I'm gonna quickly go over some of the stuff that we've talked about through the stream because we have about 30 minutes left. So Frontline starts next week on Monday, so please keep that in mind. Common Test is currently going on, so if you guys want to try out blueprints as well as a couple of other things, including crew skins, please go check out the Common Test. We also have Super Test, which dropped, which are the Swedish medium tanks, which includes the tier 8, 9, and 10 Swedish mediums. They have a new mechanic, or, well, it's very similar to the TDs, but I urge you to go look at the video because it's really cool. I Die Often is on our team. Hello, shout out to you. We also have the Sheriff event, which is going on this weekend. So if you're playing this weekend, make sure you check out the forum post as it has the full list of the schedule so you can make sure you're playing at the right time, at the right tier, so that way you can meet more sheriffs more often. We do have about 300 people with accounts, so hopefully a lot of them are playing them this weekend. And then lastly, we have the American Heritage Museum, which will be... Crazy Boop is just spamming all the links. We have the American Heritage Museum, which me, Cabbage, Crazy Boop, and a couple of others are going to be visiting at the end of this month. So if you are near the Boston area, please do check out that forum post. All you have to do is essentially... make sure that you're going to be in the area and post that you're interested in going to the event on the forum, and we may send you a link if we still have tickets left. So, there's all of that. There are so many links in chat.
Want to catch up on some questions? Somebody said R.I.P. Meathead. Meathead is not dead. Meathead has a wonderful new job in the city, and we're very happy for him. I believe they just announced the game, or he just announced the game he's been working on. It's a really cool Disney mobile game that looks interesting. You can go check him out on Meathead Militia on Twitter. I'm sure he's got more information there. We still love Meathead. We've talked about it on stream before. We moved to Texas, and Meathead chose not to come with us. No one blames him at all. It's a personal thing where you live, and uprooting your entire life across the country is a difficult decision to make. So we wish him the best at his new job. And,
oh no!
But yeah, he's still a community contributor, but he's very, very busy with his new job. He hasn't been streaming that much lately.
I've been listening to World of Tanks content as I walk back and forth to work, and this stream is a great time for me. Well, thank you. Well, we generally try to make sure that we answer questions. By the way, that was RG Deflated Z. What? Sorry, I'm totally bullocks that.
We'll do our best to pronounce your name, but no guarantees.
Yeah.
We're not linguistic experts here.
Yeah. And in fact, I trip over my words all the time.
And being Americans, we speak one language pretty much.
We speak very strangely. Anyways, so we do try to make sure that we answer all of the questions that we can. We know that sometimes you guys are just not going to be satisfied with our answers, and that's totally fine. We just want to make sure that you guys know what's going on, especially things that we can answer, so things like Frontline, sometimes bugs that are going on in the game. Which please do submit those to support, because they're the ones that can really forward those to the devs. We can just kind of make sure that CS is aware of them, so please keep that in mind. But we do try to bring you guys some exclusive content, including like the sheriff event. If you were here on Tuesday, you had essentially almost immediate notification that there would be signups available. And then today we did tell you guys that we have the American Heritage Museum that is going to be available for you guys to possibly get a ticket if you post in the forum. So that's really awesome. So please do come to our streams.
Randall on Twitch says, does the name Cabbage Mechanic mean something special, like you were a mechanic at a cabbage plant?
Hey.
I'm not familiar with the cabbage plant. Like, are you making a pun about plant, like a factory, and then plant, like, plant? That's pretty good. I appreciate that. The name Cabbage Mechanic is actually a Royal Navy term. It's a slang term for a bad cook, which I consider myself a bad cook. And I just, yeah, so that's where it comes from. It's a slang term in the Royal Navy.
Yeah. So there's 2 questions. Actually a comment and a question. Gonna go watch Klaus. Klaus is a pretty good guy. He's pretty truthful.
The no bullshit zone. I love that. It's funny because if you know Klaus and you love Klaus, you know he bullshits all the time.
Yeah.
This channel's like half bullshit.
And then Ezekiel says, "Hi, what are all those links?"
Somebody's gonna clip that and send it to Klaus, and he's gonna make a video disproving me. I love Klaus's channel so much. You should go watch Klaus. He's hilarious.
Let's see. When are they going to fix matchmaking? So, I have a link for you.
Yep. We just dropped a video a few weeks ago covering where we're at with matchmaking.
Yes. We are working on it currently, and it will be soon. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot, but soon.
Army Raw on YouTube says, I shot you tragic with my P2640 before I got piled on.
Yeah.
Got one.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Cabbage Mechanic's crew just had a significant emotional event with the iron coffin of the duck. Yeah, the one thing I always forget about the duck is that the gun can't penetrate a wet paper bag.
Dang. Ouch. I play on PS4 under a different name, but all my mobile games have the same name. If you see my name, just use RG.
RG, okay.
Gotcha. Message removed.
I saw your last message, I think, Nick. Any way to get an email if a new topic is created by a Wargaming employee in a particular forum? I don't know if you can get an email, but there is the staff posts bar on the right side of the forum. That's probably your best bet. But I don't think you can get like a live notification. Real
Grizzly says, balance premium ammo, question mark? We're working on it. Hashtag also soon.
Also just announced some stuff about that.
Yes.
I know we say soon a lot, but we do get asked the same questions a lot.
Yeah.
There's
no definitive timeline for
software development moves at the pace of software development, which sometimes is very rapid and sometimes is incredibly slow depending on the issues that they're working with.
Spaghetti code. Anyways, next match, because we're both dead.
Yeah, I did not have a...
TB1 says, I just hope it works because the wheel event proved how bad is the matchmaker. So, currently the matchmaker is very saturated with wheeled vehicles, which is kind of throwing off the meta. In a month or so, maybe 2, things should move back towards being alright, and, if it doesn't, maybe there might be an adjustment in the works.
I'm gonna do tier 6.
Alrighty, so tier 6.
I don't think we played tier 6.
How do I change my name on here to match my in-game name? Not sure how to do that on YouTube. Not sure.
You might have to make a new account on YouTube for that. I honestly don't know.
It's a tier 6.
Yep, tier 6.
You still cannot do anything if you are tier 8 and fight a broken T95 FV 4201. The matchmaker fixes won't fix that as long as we continue to have +2 matchmaker. Do you want to answer that one?
Again, we've talked about this a lot before. One of the changes,
Tog!
Also, the stats on that vehicle, you should not take those stats
and
go, oh, this vehicle's super broken. The only people who have that vehicle are extremely skilled clan players who've spent a lot of bonds to get it. Any vehicle in that situation is always going to have inflated stats when it first comes out. We'll see how it actually breaks down. I've heard a lot of people say it's better than the Super Conqueror. I've actually heard a lot of pushback on that, saying that because the Super Conqueror's gun is so much better, that the Super Conqueror is better. I think it's going to take some time for that to work itself out. I definitely don't think it's overpowered. If it is overpowered, it's not overpowered on the level that, say, like the 268 V4 was when it came out. Which I would agree was definitely an excess.
Puddin' Jones says, is there ever going to be a Game of the Year edition where you can pay a large sum to get every premium tank in the game? We kind of had that. It was called The Feast, and it was provided during Black Friday / Thanksgiving. What are you doing? We're playing the TOG.
I want to play the Excalibur.
What are you doing? We're playing the TOG.
But...
What are you doing? We're playing the TOG. When will 1.4.1 go live?
Cam D.
I'm sorry.
Is it 1.4? Oh, I'm not honestly not sure.
Yeah.
Cam D on YouTube says, I want to see you play the Email 1. I don't know if we're going to be the best the best place to learn how to play the Email 1. But well, I'll keep that in mind. Maybe we'll stick it in the queue.
Get ready for tugs. Count in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
David on YouTube asked, who in Texas Wargaming has the most battles?
Oh man.
I guess we could look at the clan.
Maybe. Yeah,
I know.
Like Irony.
Irony, who's actually a ship
maybe
staff member, has a lot.
1984 Big Brother.
Big Brother has a lot.
Yeah.
Domo has a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who has the most, but Big Brother is probably
one of the top.
Probably is, at least of the current Tanks team.
Puddin' Jones is on the other team.
We also have some people I know, like Hungry Gremlin has a lot more battles on the RU server, because his account there is much older than his account on the NA server. So, yeah.
Is stream sniping frowned upon? Yes, it's frowned upon. Hey.
Was he born in 1984? No, I actually
don't think he was.
I don't
Hi,
think so.
YouTube. I'm gonna send heart. KV2 next, please. I'll play the KV2. I'll let Cabbage play whatever tank he wants to play next. Because I forced him into TOG.
I like how he knew we were playing TOGs and he jumped in his KV2. Just like, I'm gonna get him.
Oh god, I zoomed in way too far.
I'm gonna
Look
farm
at that Valhalla.
XP pinata.
Valhalla. Okay, honestly, this game looks like when you don't have any of the UI on.
TOGs are so slow.
Tog.
says you are slow and fat.
Aww. I pushed, comrade. Hot TOG. Send us your best TOG jokes. Go.
You know, the great thing about the TOG is it's the only tank that actually has a mess hall inside, so the crew can enjoy a meal on their way to battle, which is good because they have time to eat one before they get there.
Yes. The other thing is, it also has a daycare. I went over that with Crazy Boop yesterday. Everyone rub against a TOG for luck.
TOG jokes are too long.
Daycare center in the back. Yes. It also has a nacho stand, so keep that in mind.
I just shot a friendly Black Prince. I'm so sorry, friendly Black Prince.
Oh, hey, Tragic, do you think... Oh, this is Cody. Oh, hey, Tragic, do you think they will add KV2 Premium to the text tree? Probably not. This was a collaborative effort with... Games Workshop to get the Ragnarok skin, essentially, on there. So... Oh, no!
We also have the BDR Mordian skin, which is really cool. I've been a Warhammer fan for a long time, so it's really cool for me that we get to do that kind of stuff. We are very interested in doing more in the future, but don't have anything to announce on that.
Yeah.
No! Why?
So,
oh, gosh.
any tanks that we create with collaborative efforts are a little bit harder because licensing, if you know anything about like copyrights and whatnot, we do have to be careful with that kind of stuff because it can go very poorly if they decide, hey, we don't want to do this right now. So we gotta watch out for that.
This Black Prince is really ruining my day.
Yeah.
He just keeps driving in front of me.
So sad. Let's see. Oy. Okay.
Oh, thanks, Cecily. I didn't go anywhere, guys. I wanted to let Crazy Boop show off the From the Forge stuff.
Oh yeah. Is Meet the Chieftain event available only for players/inhabitants? So if you are in the Boston area or can get to Boston for the event, we highly encourage it. Don't go absolutely out of your way to go, but we would love to see you guys.
I think he's kind of asking is if you can like bring a +1.
Just make sure you get a ticket for them.
Yeah,
as long as you have a ticket.
I would say it's
fine.
really, as long as there's someone who's passionate about tanks, because it's it's a really special thing we get to offer. We usually don't get to offer this kind of cool thing, so we really want to make sure the people who get to do it are able to take advantage of it.
Very exclusive.
So keep that in mind. It's not going to be. It's not particularly a family event. It's definitely.
It's pudding.
Just because it has to be so small, we would love to normally offer a family event, and most of our events we will make amenities for that. But this one is really for the people who want to appreciate the history and care about the game. So
yeah,
keep that in mind
because it's an exclusive preview to a exclusive collection. So
I just got OI'd for 500 damage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Evan McKay says, nice shot. Aww. Aw, Puddin' Jones with the sad emoji.
Denzel on YouTube dropping the E Pluribus Unum. I like it.
No, just asking if EU players can get the invite. If you can get to Boston.
Yeah, you got to get to Boston.
Absolutely.
If you want to apply, and you want to fly to Boston on March, or be there for the March 30th event, yeah, feel free. Feel free. Feel free. We're not going to deny you if you're willing to make that trip. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not one to keep you from coming to an event.
But I mean, I would say like you guys have some pretty cool events in the UK too. So
feel free.
Check those out. Somebody on here was saying somebody said they did their training at Bovington, which is awesome. We had a guy from UK Armed Forces.
I think we can get them to shoot a tank that day. I'm not sure. I know they have some tanks that are able to drive around. I don't think they'll shoot them,
I don't think they have an arena yet. There is ultimately, I believe, a plan to open an outdoor arena where they can run the tanks, but I don't believe they have one built yet.
Oh, my poor Tom.
Cody says, you can always go next door to my Meet the Tomato event I am hosting in the Boston area.
Cody. Nice.
Love it. By the way, Cody, I don't think we've announced it yet in the CC channel, but if you guys want to come, let us know.
Yes.
I'll post them there for you guys later. We'll be able to sneak you in the back door.
Sounds dirty.
I feel like a lot of our CCs live in the West.
Yeah, I know.
But not all.
Yeah. There's a few that live in the West. I mean, there's like Trobs.
Mountain Man's in Oregon, Trobs is in Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't want to leak everyone's location, so I'll leave it at statewide.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people in the West. I think True is in Washington.
No idea. Anyways, we're getting towards about 15 minutes left. We're gonna run a couple more battles. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to insert them into the chat. We will try to read your questions and answer them. I
think we gotta play the email one now.
Emil 1. Guys, I'm not gonna accept friend requests on this account. Emil 1, you said.
That's what the request was.
Okay. Oh, I was asked to play the something. KB2, I think. We'll do that if we die fast. Signing off says Kevin McKay. Time to play. Ben, thanks. Been fun. Thanks for the stream.
Enjoy your. Hopefully, you have better luck than we have.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Let's see. What do you think about the Hellcat? Is it a good tank? It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still a pretty solid tank as far as I know.
Yeah, definitely playable. Maybe not. I still see him occasionally in Tier 6 strongholds. I wouldn't say that they're like ideal for that, but just because the Tier 6 strongholds trend so hard towards mobility.
Yeah.
I think it's solid, but yeah, it's nowhere near as good as it was, and that's where a lot of the comments about making it great again come from.
Do you think we will get a Halloween premium tank this year? What do you mean?
Alright, let's get this countdown going for the Tier 8s.
Right.
you guys
54. 53. 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So hold on. Too bad you're dead. Said, did you hear my question about ENSC? I didn't see it. Go ahead and repost the question. We won't get in trouble for reposting it if we missed it. King Philip 123 said, you guys are too far to walk from Aussie-land. Yeah, just a little bit. I know
there we go.
just flew back from Australia. I think it was like 18 hours.
Is there any development going on to change the size of ENSC or to limit to lower tiers? If so, why not? Also, why were the proposed changes to fjords and Minsk scrapped? I don't remember what proposed changes to Minsk.
I'd have to ask about the map changes. I honestly don't know.
Oh, I die often on the other.
As far as ENSC, I've heard a couple different possibilities for changing to ENSC. The only thing I can say right now is that making some changes to that style of map is definitely something that's being considered. It's way too early to mention any possible changes at this point.
Hey, True Voodoo, how are you doing?
Hey, True. Yeah, True, we were giving out your personal information.
Do you guys know what the Tier 9 frontline tank is? Not asking what it is, but do you guys know?
So I have my suspicions, but to be honest, no, it hasn't been confirmed to me yet.
Yeah.
I could probably find it in our backend system if I went looking.
So Cody Price was asking about similar kind of. So in World of Warships, you have skins for Halloween, so they look all like Halloweeny.
Gotcha.
And yes, I said Halloweeny. I don't know. We are moving towards making custom skin, or like you guys have seen. Essentially, we've released, styles for different tanks. So it's a possibility in the future.
Wow. Well, I just got hit by an RD for 350 damage. That wasn't very fun. Katika91 says, I know this is a question you maybe won't be able to answer, but are you guys planning to build a head office in France and open a YouTube channel for the French community? So we do have an office in Paris, actually. That's where the EU office is. I just got hit by the same RD again. As far as a French YouTube channel, that you'd have to ask Wargaming EU. They have a separate channel and separate streams, and I believe they do, video translations and stuff in French.
Yes, they do.
But that you'd have to ask. We do have some French speakers here in North America, but fortunately for us, Canada makes all of them learn English as well. So, not that there's anything wrong with speaking French.
Scared. Oh boy.
Braden says stop camping CabbageMechanic. Because I'm getting hit by Harley. I know I need some dynamic gameplay, right? If my gameplay was more dynamic, I wouldn't be getting hit by artillery.
Too bad your dad says there was mention of making the A-line higher on fjords and removing the K-line.
Yeah, I remember that post. I didn't even know it got scrapped. I'd have to look into it. Like I said, I'll try and look into it, and if you come back next week, hopefully I'll have an answer for you. Yeah. I have done that before. I don't always forget.
Any chance that you could ask if the devs could add the BT-42? I don't actually know that tank. Can't really answer that.
I just dropped my whole clip on that. And I got hit by the artillery again. This is Batchat. Who is this Batchat? That's how I wanted stream Tanker Mang.
Oh, come on!
I can't read the whole thing. But that guy is shooting only at me.
I'm super dead. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely hear the ENSC criticism. For me too, it feels pretty small, especially because I play primarily medium
says
tanks.
Stop camping.
Yeah, I commented on that. Oh, Jambi John popped in. Hello, Jambi John. You just made some Quebec. I believe it's Quebecois, Cody. Quebecois. I could probably do that.
Braden says now you're camping.
We love the Quebecies. We just unfortunately I don't speak French, so it's hard for me to.
You should do a 4005 game. If we're you're not dead yet.
I mean, I can die if it would be convenient for you.
No, it's fine. BT-42. Here we go, crazy boot. Whoa! What is that?
That's awesome.
What?
I will definitely ask if they can implement that. That thing looks cool.
Oh man.
I'll probably get told
Man,
maybe,
that
but
thing
I'll
looks
ask.
crazy. Will we ever get the Object 244? As long as it's within the era of essentially World War I and World War II, there could be possibilities that the tank gets added. Never say never when it comes to adding tanks. It just might not be as soon as you would hope. Sacre bleu! Says, Rudy Doody. I like your name. Adorable. Roger Parada says, love you guys, keep it up. Thank you.
We appreciate all the kind words we get, because most of them aren't.
Braden says, 4005, toxic.
Alright, I'm dead. I think we can do it.
Okay.
We can do, we'll do one last game in the, I
Shirt-
believe it's a
Shirt barn.
Yeah, affectionately known as the Shirt Barn.
Or without the R, it's actually the shirt ban.
Well played.
I used that one
Well
on
played.
Crazy and he didn't laugh. It made me really sad. Oh, I was really disappointed you didn't laugh.
Alright guys, this is going to be our last battle of the stream, sadly. Thank you so much for coming out and watching us. We really appreciate it. We hope you got something out of this. I sure know it wasn't expert gameplay, so you know, if you have questions, we're always happy to answer those.
Did
we're
we
always
at
happy to
least
hang
hit
out
a
and talk about the game.
50% win rate? That's a draw, that's a win, that's a loss.
I feel like it's
That's a
been rough.
win, that's a win, that's
My-
a loss.
My
Oh,
performance
we're
has been-
I think we're like 4 to 2 losses. 4 to 3 losses.
I am slightly
And a
better
draw.
at the game when I'm not reading chat and answering questions.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot better, but slightly better.
4005 shirt. Oops.
Hey Leopard Star, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Session stats are definitely another thing that's on the table.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Session statistics when? That's actually something that the devs are very interested in,
Yep.
so cross fingers very soon.
Alesso on Twitch asked, do devs notice that tanks are stuck in the past and they're working on them? 100% yes. I don't know if you remember, at the end of last year we had a big run with changes to the old preferred tier 8 mediums. They ended up getting some small buffs and not losing their preferred matchmaking status.
Yep.
So I know you know, the buffs don't come as fast as we'd all like them to come, but 100% we do notice, and hopefully the tank that you love will get its buff someday.
I have unrecruited female tankers. Will I have to recruit them by a certain date? If they are the winter girls, you do not have to. They are essentially forever in limbo until you recruit them. You should really put them in a tank. They're just in limbo. Limbo.
Yeah. I don't blame you guys for watching Cody at all. You should go watch Cody after our stream ends. Cody's great, and you'll learn a lot more from him about how to be good. And possibly some good cooking tips. Cody's a chef.
Oh, teach me how to cook.
Also, his dog Levi is adorable. And if you're really interested, you can go and invest in Levi
Cody
biscuits.
says, uh-oh.
Levi biscuits are the new trending economy. I actually heard they're going to replace Bitcoin as the primary cryptocurrency. So definitely go and check out some Levi biscuits and get that dog some treats.
Dude, I love Biscoff biscuits. They are absolutely delicious. Send them to me. I would love some Biscoff biscuits. Send me a ton of them.
I mean, the dog doesn't have to get fatter. As the value increases, you just have to raise the prices on dog treats.
Oh boy. I want real biscuits. Like actual Biscoff. Like the stuff they give you on planes? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, True Voodoo. I don't know what it is, but I freaking love them. Like a lot. Like so much. That warning is what had me worried. Oh no, that's just gonna pop up every single time you log into the game.
Katika says, is the Lance and C going to be the Tier 8 premium introduction to the upcoming Tier 8 Swedish medium line? Based on how things have been done in the past, that's probably a safe scenario to imagine. I'm not 100% positive that is how it will work out. But we have announced the Lance and C, and it's something that we've been testing in Super Test. It is going to be a Tier 8 Premium Swedish Medium. In fairness, the the Primo Victoria already exists, so you can get your Sabaton band crew leveled up now if you want.
Truman is calling me out on liking airplane Biscoff biscuits. Tragic goes up and down the aisle. Are you gonna eat that?
The planes I've been going on lately, they've been giving me Stroop waffles.
Dude, what? Why? Dude, okay, Biscoff biscuits are really good, and I'm actually a little bit obsessed with them. I might actually do that next time, True Voodoo.
Cryptic says the Sabaton crew doesn't have the right layout. I didn't know that. Thanks for pointing that out. I'll check that out.
You broke me.
Yeah, Puddin' on Twitch says, I got to play a couple games with you guys. GG's and thanks. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
I'm laughing too hard.
Well, if you stopped harassing people for their cookies.
They're not cookies, they're biscuits. There is a difference.
Are we going to have this conversation?
Ooh.
Are you British?
No. Oh, he's coming back. Oh, he's not. Come back. Come back, T30. Oh.
I got to shoot a Type 5 with Hesh, and it was... I mean, not that glorious. Only 500.
Free to play? Question mark. World of Tanks? Yes.
Oh, missed him.
No.
I know.
You scared
I wanted
him.
that 100 to 0.
Oh no.
I didn't get spotted. You didn't see me.
You need to fly more. First class gets upgrades, and you don't get those biscotti things. I would ride economy every day.
Yeah, I don't
get
get to fly first class.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck in the Stroopwafel world. It's really pretty nice. Attica says the Sabaton tank isn't really a pure Swedish tank. I don't know about that. I mean, the Swedes used the Centurions for quite a long time, I believe. But I mean, I guess you could say, like, pure...
Brazilian Bulldog was already released.
Console?
We just got the Brazilian Bulldog.
Did we?
Yeah, the 41B. Or the 41D. Isn't that Brazilian?
That's a Chinese...
Oh,
Chinese
okay.
line.
Never mind then. My bad! Please. Was that me? No, that was you. Gosh, dang it.
I don't know if we ever promised the Brazilian Bulldog. Did we promise those?
I don't remember them.
We do have the Brazilian Bulldog on console. I'd certainly like to see it come to PC. I'm not aware of it ever being promised, though.
Oh, bollocks. No.
Ah, I just missed my shot on this quick one.
I'm gonna have to 5.
We have a guide that says uninstall please to the whole team. All 14 of us. I'm gonna rush the Scorpion G because what's he gonna do?
Because what's he's gonna do?
His friends are gonna shoot me to death. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah, probably.
But I just think it's hilarious to play these kind of tanks really aggressively because no one expects it, and then all of a sudden they get rushed by a tank with 1100 alpha. And just look at him cower. Look at him run. He's so scared.
Oh no. He's running. He's running fast. Oh man. Oh no. I'm getting shot at. Probably
boom! Got him.
Take a lot. Steals the top of my turn.
Oh, and then I probably got shot for 1200 damage. Ouch.
Gotta load Hesh, but I don't wanna. Ow! Okay, that hurt.
F in chat for the Scorpion.
Rip me. See. I don't have the Alpine, but I do have the WZ-111. I like it. Nice. I'm glad you like that. Speaking of Tragic. Hey Tragic, how's the RNG today? F. Let's watch you.
Hope I'm being slow.
Is that good?
Oh, no, I just
No.
didn't get the shot.
Thanks from non-rural 8. Okay, rural is rural. You say it. Rural.
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 Just it's just molasses coming out of your mouth.
Rural.
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 Anyways.
It sounds like Rick Grimes from Walking Dead saying Carl.
Coral! But that's because he's Canadian.
My son, he's English.
My son Coral.
My son Coral.
Anyways, guys, this is what happens when you get World Tanks later in the day. Anyways, that is just about the end. Coral! That is just about the end of the stream. I'm gonna quickly go back through some of the stuff that we talked about. Frontline starts next week. Common Test is out. Super Test stuff is on the portal page, so those are the tier 8, 9, and 10 Swedish mediums. We have the Sheriff event going on this weekend, and we have the American Heritage Museum Eventbrite's, well, rather, the forum to get an Eventbrite ticket. It is free. We will provide lunch. The Chieftain will be there, so please do sign up for the event. It is free for you guys to attend, as long as you can get to Boston. We will not pay for flights or any sort of transportation. Just get there and you will get an exclusive sneak preview, or rather sneak tour into the actual museum, which is not open until April. So keep that in mind. It is very, very awesome. Anyways, any closing words, Mr. CabbageMechanic Senior Community Manager?
I'm going to say no and then give them anyway.
Oh.
But thank you, special thank you to Crazy Boot for moderating chat, and Monty in Twitch chat. We appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much. You know, we really appreciate. We've been getting a pretty good viewership on these, and we really appreciate you guys coming out and watching us. Hopefully, you get some out of it. She really wants to do more stuff. Bother me. Tragic has Object 907 codes, so if you're interested in those, message her in game. Get at her on Twitter. Get those 907 codes. And we will see you next week. Enjoy Frontline. It starts Monday. Enjoy the Sheriff Weekend. It's this weekend. See you guys later.
Bye.